today you become protectors, protectors of the peace and protectors of your fellow man and woman. It's no coincidence that my favorite quote was printed on the wall of that warrior room, and y'all have all seen it. Everyone wants to be a lion until it comes down to do what lions do. My best wishes to you, Class 2006. Finally, I would like to offer a welcome to our guest speaker, Chief Ronald Applin of the Atlanta Public Schools Police Department. Chief Ronald Applin is an Atlanta native and serves as the Chief of Police at Atlanta Public Schools, where he also was a graduate. He has served in this position since the creation of the department in 2016. He is currently an adjunct professor at Reinhardt University, teaching in their criminal justice program and MPA. Prior to his service at APS, he was the director of security at Landmark Christian School, a law and justice professor at Creekside High School, retired from the Fulton County Sheriff's Office and 6 years in the United States Marine Corps Reserves. Chief Applin earned his bachelor's degree in criminal justice at Mercer University, master's degree in public administration at Troy University, and completed all coursework for a PhD in criminal justice at Capella University. He is a graduate of the FBI National Academy 220th session and a graduate of the inaugural class of Mercer University's Public Safety Leadership Institute. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome to the podium Chief Ronald Applin.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity to come and just share a few things with you. I think I'm going to start off with a little bad news. I was talking to John a little bit earlier when I came in, and he said there was a mistake with the OC class. I'm not sure exactly what took place, but you guys are going to take that over again Monday. Oh, no. Yeah, right. Well, I do want to just kind of talk about a couple things first. I want to just explain what's going on right here, because I typically don't wear a beard. You know me, my face is clean shaven. But I think it's a bit of advice, my first part of advice for anybody in the room, especially for you guys. I'm doing this for No Shade November. And No Shade November is a cause to fight cancer. And it's also bringing some awareness to everyone about the importance of getting your yearly checkups, right? So you didn't come here to hear that, I just want to explain it to you. But I do this for my dad, who died of cancer in 1993. My brother, who died of cancer in 2014. And my grandfather, who died of cancer in 1992. So it's been through my family quite a bit. So I decided, as part of my fight, I'm gonna let the hair grow out and kind of share with people as I go forward. But I encourage you, my first point of advice, get your checkups done, all right? Especially with men, we don't do that, right? All right, so I got a call from John, and I called him John now. We used to say Farrah is the last name, but I got a call from John a few months ago asking if I would come and speak with you for the graduation. And of course, I didn't have a problem with that at all. Now, I did feel some kind of way when I found out he was retired and may not be here. And I'm saying to myself, how are you going to invite me to speak at your graduation? You're not going to be here to run. But it's good to see him here. Farrah is one of those dedicated people I've seen. Farrah and I served on the Sheriff's Office SWAT team for years. I know you hear that name, some of you, and think, Sheriff's Office SWAT team, what do they do? We do a whole lot. Did a whole lot. And I'm not here to talk about that, but I do want to just talk a little bit about John, because John, I tell you, he's one of the most dedicated people I know. Always on time. We get a call out, he's the first one there. He's got all of his gear with him, he's ready to go. When we started out with the team, you know, when we bring new people onto the team, when we came onto the team, we didn't put them in right away. You know, we did a few things with them to make sure they were comfortable with making entry into the house. And shoot, I tell you, the first time John had the opportunity to, he was right there ready to rock and roll. Now, he might not have been the first person in the staff, but as soon as he had an opportunity to, he made his way up to the front and we had to do. I can remember one time, I won't tell too many stories, but one time we were doing an entry We got into the house, Farrah was like, next to the last person in the stack. We get to an attic, and I'm 6'3", and I'm saying to myself, I ain't going in that attic. But guess who volunteered to do it right away? John. Several reasons why I didn't go to that, because I want to stick my head up there and get shot. That's the last thing I want to do. I want that to happen to John either, but, I take my hat off to him because he's just dedicated like that. The man just, I tell you, you guys are just very fortunate to have somebody like him to share his experiences before he gets out the door. So I just want you to give him a good round. Stand up, give him a round of applause. It was very fitting to hear some of the stories that I heard about John, because it just didn't surprise me. I said that. It didn't surprise me that people said all these good things about it, because they were true. The man just squared away. But anyway, good luck to you, Barry. Thanks for all you've done. My hope is always, when I'm sharing information, try to share something that you can put into two thoughts. Everything I say you might not like. It might be some things you take, some things you don't. If you take one thing from what I share with you today, I hope that you're able to do that. Put it into two thoughts. In order to be successful in this business, you got to be open to advice. And you're going to get a lot of it. Some good, some bad, some don't make any sense, some you know better. But some things are going to be spot on. So you got to be able to take advice. You also might get just enough to get yourself in trouble. Now, I've had that too. But be open to advice. Because things are always changing, and you've seen that here through your training, things are always changing. You have to be flexible. You have to be able to embrace change, because change is going to come. Now, the older you get, the harder it is to accept changes. All right, I'm not talking about anybody in the room, right? But the older you get, the harder it is to accept change. But things will change, and you have to be prepared for that. You may not like it, but you have to accept it. My personal belief, and a tool you have to choose to use. But I think it's more important than anything you can learn is to believe in a higher power. Those are some of the things it's going to take to be successful in this business. You have to be open to advice. You're going to always train. They talk about this all the time. The instructors probably said it. Training never stops, right? You're always training, all the time. You'll learn a lot of things, but you're going to have to filter some of them. Because everything that you learn, you're not going to use. Everything that you learn may not be good, but you're going to take in a lot of stuff. In SWAT school, for example, we were taught a whole bunch of stuff. They taught us the butt hook, the crisscross, and all that stuff. And I can remember just teaching, active shoot classes, thinking, I can't remember the last time I buttoned a crisscross. All I know is I need to get through the door and get out of the door. Things change, right? But I listened to that advice. I learned as much as I could, but I made some adaptations, and you'll do that too. Also, when I share words of wisdom, I make sure I understand that some people may not be as impacted with what I say as others. I get that. But if one of you happen to benefit from something that I say today, then I've done my job. Well, it doesn't have to be anybody in the room for that matter. So I share with my team, the officers I work with at Atlanta Public Schools. And keep in mind, these are people who've been in law enforcement for quite some time. You have to have at least 3 years of experience in the BLE department. And a lot of these guys have been around for quite a while, right? They've worked with different agencies, done different things, different duties. And in that time, I asked them to just give me some words to share with you. I'm just give you a few things that they shared with me that felt like you could hear from them with regard to starting out in law enforcement. Integrity is everything was one of them. Police with compassion for everyone. Learn all you need to learn in the beginning of the police career and staying out of trouble. don't take anything about being a police officer personally, especially when it's not personal. Keep your mind open to constant learning, growth, and challenge. Police with integrity. Focus on community policing. Establish relationships with the community you serve. Be sensitive to the current social climate as you perform your duties. If you want to make a change, start from within. As you all embark on this new journey, trust your instinct and always be willing to grow. Still sound familiar? Your safety is golden. You're no good to others if your safety is compromised. What you do has far greater impact than what you say. Leadership is action, not position. Be an ethical professional. People will immediately know if you're honest and competent. Prepare for your job as a professional and expect those around you to be professional. Gotta take advice. You're gonna get a lot of it. Filter that advice too, because some of it you can use, some of it you won't be able to. You have to embrace change. This is very important, especially in this business. I'll tell you a story about when I was a kid. We were traveling to Rome, Georgia, or Kingston, Rome, Kingston, Georgia. You know anything about it. And my dad was driving. He got stopped. I won't say the agency, but he got stopped. And they asked him to follow them to the precinct. So we go to the precinct. My dad goes inside. My dad comes out. His shirt is torn, his lip is busted, blood's coming, dripping out of his face. And I never forget hearing my mom scream and asking him what happened, what's going on. My dad said that he did. I won't name the department because I know some people who work for this agency today and they're nothing like that. In today's world, it's never acceptable, right? Some stuff like that's never acceptable. And especially in today's world, it's definitely not acceptable. And as the captain noted, you're coming into this world, into this business at a time when things are pretty rough for law enforcement, when it's not the most popular job in the world. But I must say that I am proud of each and every one of you for making a decision, committing yourself to going into law enforcement. Because today is even harder than it was when I started. So I take my hat off to you for that. You're coming into this field at a time when our communities are demanding so much more from us. But we have to hear what people have to say. And we have to adjust. So all the things aren't bad about us. All the things are things that we just need to make a change. We have to make a shift. And we have to be ready to do that. And talk about change. You know, I started the academy. Think about change. I started the academy. I had a revolver. 38 Smith & Wesson. All right? And other folks had the semi-autos, the Berettas, and the Glock went out at the time. So I'm telling my age. It might have been out, but it wasn't like a popular weapon at the time. You know, so I had a revolver. And I can remember I made it to the trophy round, believe it or not, with a revolver. I made it to the trophy round. And I can remember just being so bent out of shape about me walking around with a revolver trying to win this trophy round. This dude over here got a semi-auto weapon, just taking care of business, no problem. But I made it to the trophy round with that revolver. But I had to compete with somebody who had something that was a lot better. And you'll see that in this business. You'll look around and you see things differently. You look around and you see a different uniform. You look around and see them carrying different weapons. You look at our SWAT team, we always look at each other like, oh, they got this, he's got that, he's got that. You know, we always use comparison, and you don't get there just by doing it. You get there by observing it and make the change when you need to. Gotta make the change. Think about how many versions of the iPhone you've seen. I can remember standing in line at Lennox Mall, waiting for iPhone, the second series of the iPhone to come out. I mean, I stood in line for 3 or 4 hours, called out sick, can't get the name, it's been a long time. Called out sick. I did call out sick, got there early, at the Apple store, waiting for the store to open up so I could get the iPhone 2. Where are we now? At 12? You know, but it has several more than 12 different models, right? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. But things are going to change, and we have to be able to accept that. We have to be able to make that switch. When I was on the SWAT team, I consider myself, and you guys may feel the way there, I consider myself to be a hammer, and every bad guy was in there. All I knew was, that's it. But today, in the position that I'm in right now, it takes a little bit different, a whole lot different approach. Because I realized that I had to change. And I had to embrace that change. Because I can't be a hammer and treat students as a nail and still keep my job. Can't do that and keep the trust of the people who I serve, right? Think about it, if you're a parent especially, and your kid's at a school, a school police beating up the kid all the time. That ain't good at all. But we have to make adjustments and be prepared for change. Some people today say, some people today might say that I'm soft with a capital T, soft. Some folks don't know what I'm talking about. I had to change, I had to embrace it. Just remember, things will change in so much change. You have to be ready for that. Now, I know there's a separation of religion and state. I'm not here to try to force anything on anyone in particular, but I do believe it is important to believe in a higher power. In order to survive this business, I'm telling you, I did, because I do believe in a higher power. Someone asked a few weeks ago, how did you make it this long in law enforcement? And my response was, if it were not for the grace of God, because I'm going to tell you, I've been through so many things, we've seen so much. Got into a shootout a few years before I got off the SWAT team. I'll tell you, man, it wasn't nothing but the grace of God. That's what I believe. I've never had to shoot my gun, but I must say I've come close. Been shot at, but never shot back. Nothing but the grace of God. But one of the things I want y'all to understand is you have an automatic blessing. I would ask you y'all know what that is. I know somebody know. Matthew 5:9. Matthew chapter 5, verse 9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. You have an automatic blessing. You can screw that up. Right? You can do a lot of things to mess that up, but you have an automatic blessing. I remember hearing a story about, this was during a storm. There were some people that were in the house, and a boat came by, and they said, hey, we're here to save you. No, it's okay, God's going to take care of this. Helicopter came, told the helicopter pilot, that's okay, we're going to be all right, God's going to take care of this. Some more folks came by and said, hey, we got something, we can get you out of this. No, God's going to take care of us. They ended up dying in heaven. They stood before God and said, God, why did you say this? And God said, I sent you a boat. Yeah. I sent you a helicopter. Yeah. I sent you several people, but you decided not to do it. And I reflect on that and I think about, the captain mentioned that I retired from the sheriff's office. Think about that. Sometimes God will make things so uncomfortable that you have to move. He will make things so uncomfortable that you have to move. When I retired from the sheriff's office, I wasn't very happy about it. I had no plans